Everyone, welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a good morning. Took me a while to get going there because I changed some settings on the audio on our webpage. So just want to make sure you guys can hear me on the webpage. Make sure you guys are good. Okay, excellent. All right, so that's working. Yeah, I did some changes. I was gonna hop on with Norm, and by the time I figure out yesterday morning, by the way, Norm was trading live. By the time I figure out how to change my mic from vMix, which is the production software we use for YouTube, by the time I did all of that, Jared already hopped on, and then you got to do this whole message change it back. So it's just painful when it comes to audio. But glad you guys can hear me on YouTube. Can you hear me okay too? Happy Friday. All right, perfect. Cool guys, it's good. Let's get rocking and rolling here. So just coming on a little bit earlier as we get ready to set up. No engineering the markets on Fridays, as you guys know. Jared takes off Fridays and he's back with you on Tuesday because Monday is it's a holiday. So looking forward to a long weekend here. So all right, excellent, guys. Gappers list small. This is the smallest I've seen the Gappers list in a very long time, even at this time at 8:15. So that's kind of refreshing to see such a small list already. And yeah, hopefully, what some more stuff comes on here because this is a little bit too small, and we can hopefully watch some stuff that we can take advantage of. Oxy already on here. That's going to be fun. Holly, HPCO, and BBBY. Let's take a quick look on what BBBY is doing today. And if we hop over here, BBBY down 3.7, some good volume. But again, I think just the fun on this thing is over, really dropping quite a bit here. So, all right, guys, we'll get going around 8:30 when Norm hops on. But in the meantime, we can answer some questions. We can take it a little bit slower pace until we get to 8:30, and we'll kind of pick things up. Um, what do we have here? We have NVIDIA. NVIDIA was amazing yesterday. Actually, we could do that. Let's go over the stuff that we had yesterday. So we had NVIDIA, which again, I think, oh, yeah, let me get the screen for you guys up here over on YouTube. I mean, on our, there we go. So NVIDIA yesterday, I was shocked how much this thing sold off. I did not think we were going to be seeing 137. You guys called it. So good job there. You guys called 137. Some of you guys called even 135 or so. But man, that was insane. Look at our daily levels though. Our daily levels were on point. We had 137.50 hit right on. You got a little bit of a bounce. I forgot who was the member that got in short, either in this pop here or in this pop here. So amazing trade. We were talking in the chat yesterday. I didn't trust it. I did not trust this short. I think that we were going to get some kind of a bounce here. I did not see Nvidia selling down this much, so I definitely had a little bit of a bias there that kind of hurt me by not joining that trade. I didn't join it long neither because I didn't trust it was going. But the market started selling off. I didn't trust it was going to bounce, but man, did not think it was going to drop this much. 134.96 all the way down to the low of the day yesterday, which is 133, 132 something. So an amazing drop there. Um, yeah, it did level off here, and it did give you a nice pop into the close yesterday, right? So again, you could have played this both ways, and you would have done very well. We have plug on deck too. Again, a lot of sell off yesterday, guys, right? Just same song and dance here, selling off as well. AMD sold off nicely, also finally leveling off. The SPY had a little bit of a bounce into the close, so you saw a lot of tickers come back like Nvidia and AMD because those two sold off quite a bit. Snap was just again, not bad, but when you have Nvidia and AMD trading the way they are, I mean, you don't really need to pay attention to this. I'm surprised they're sitting here above 11 at 11:51 this morning. So we'll see how they end up today. Google, I didn't really watch the price action. I mean, overall, just following the overall market. Same thing with Apple. Although Apple, compared to like everything else, this thing was choppy. It just didn't move well. So it didn't move well at all. OKTA, this sell-off was great, man. This was nice sell-off here. We called it about, hitting 68 before the market opened. It did just that. Does bounce back. Doesn't give you a rising devil. It doesn't give you kind of any opportunity for a pullback here. It just sells down all the way to 63, and then it just trickles all the way down here to 58. I mean, this thing got hammered, guys. It was down, was it 18%, almost 20% pre-market already, and it just kept running. So just crazy stuff there. So secondary list, Meta, FSC, and Neo. And I have American Airlines here because I did get into a long-term position on this one. So we'll see how that goes on my long-term account. So again, I think it's at a personally, I think this is at a good buy value for the future. But we'll see. I expect more downside, guys, on a lot of this stuff because things are just not well out there. So we'll see. As far as the SPY, we ended the green yesterday, but the week, I think we're ending the week red. Yeah, so third red week here, going into September. So we'll see how that turns out. All right, guys, any questions before we get rocking and rolling with our regular routine? For those joining us on YouTube, on Fridays, we don't have engineering the markets with Jared. So we will go we just kind of have this uh, small talk before we get into our 8:30 regular routine. And I know we've been talking about doing Friday stories, and actually on Monday I was doing the onboarding class, and I forgot the question that was asked. We were talking about CMEG and their process and just kind of how they work, the pros and cons. Trying to trading under the PDT. And if you guys remember, I had a CMEG account probably 2 years ago, 2 years ago, and 2 years and a half or so. No, no, Rafila, I'm with IB now. But when I was with CMEG, there was this funny situation. So again, the broker they're great for what they do, and there's really not that many options for you to trade under the PDT, but to go to an offshore broker if you live in the US, right? It is this, I don't want to say stupid rule, but it's a rule that should hopefully go away because the reason why they're doing it, they're preventing people from like wash your rules and trying to book losses and gains. Not really for day traders, right? But it affects us day traders as far as being able to trade with $10,000, which is it's a great amount of capital to start trading with if you can get past the PDT rule and if you could be disciplined and trade small. So anyways, long story short, I was trading with CMEG, and I remember I was taking out my first withdrawal. I had it was the end of the week. I don't think it was the end of the month, but I had such a great week. It was like probably the third week of them, probably the third 3 weeks into the month, and I had a great week. And I'm like, you know what? It's Friday. This has been an amazing month. I'm gonna withdraw some cash. I'm gonna withdraw. It was like 15,000, so I'm gonna withdraw this, and just because it's good, guys, to feel. Sometimes you forget that what you're trading is cash. I mean, these numbers you're seeing here, sometimes you're buying $20,000 of stocks and this and that. You got to remember that this is money you're trading with. So it's good to reward yourself at the end of the month. That's how I do it at the end of the month. It's good to take something out just to remember that when it hits your account, this is actual money. It's not just digits. You don't want to be so distant from it that it prevents you from thinking rationally at times. So anyway, I start my withdrawal, and I did not know this because this is not something that was told to me with the way CMEG works. So I start my withdrawal. I send in my form. Everything's very manual, not like IB. Just go in there, you hit withdraw. It's linked to your bank account. You have it in 2 days, no problem. This is a whole different process. You send in a form, you fill it out, and I sent it on Friday evening. I remember that after I decided, okay, how much I want to take out, all good. And then on Monday morning comes, and I'm ready to trade. So I start, after the pre-market show, I start trading, and I get into a position that ends up working out. So it's doing pretty good. As I'm holding this position because it's going in my direction, I start hitting the partial key. The minute I hit the partial key, I get an error message saying your account is blocked. You can't take no positions. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm in this trade and I am hitting the button and nothing's happening. I'm hitting this panic one now to get out. Now I'm getting concerned because, stocks always come back. Like it's just something about it. 80% of the time for me, stocks are going to come back to your break-even point and they're going to go under. They just don't run all the time, right? You get lucky once in a while, but they just don't run all the time. They come back. So I like to take profit very aggressively. I'm hitting everything, man. It is not working. I'm getting the error key. So now I'm starting to get concerned. Now I'm starting to sweat. Like, okay, this could be bad. Not being able to get out of a position could be very bad. So I start calling them up saying, hey, what's going on here? I am not able to take this trade off. And he's like, oh, yeah, we understand your account has been blocked because we're processing your withdrawal. I'm like, no. I need you to unblock it right now. I'm in a trade right now. He's like, yeah, but if you start the withdrawal process, your account needs to get blocked while we do the withdrawal. I'm like, no. I need you to open this account right now. She finally understood that I was in a position that I need to get out of immediately. Still in the green, but I'm concerned not being able to have control. She finally understands what's happening. She lets me know, okay, we'll stop your withdrawal and we'll go ahead and open up unlock your account. She unlocks my account. I got out. I made like $100, but it was up to like 300, 400, 500. So it would have been a really nice trade. man, the relief I got being able to get out of that trade was just incredible. So if you are with CMEC and you haven't withdrawn money yet, be aware of this process, right? I don't know if they still do that now, but 2 years ago, what they did was if you withdrew money, you had to stop trading. They had to process this transaction in your account, and then they'll unlock your account to let you know that you traded. Since the gap, since I did it on a Friday evening, I guess Friday morning when they came in, they saw the form. Okay, let's process this. Like at 9:35 or something when I was in a trade. So just be aware of that, right? Don't know if that has changed, but if you're trading with CMEC, definitely be aware of that. Yes, have your broker's number on hand. And I think they changed numbers now. Before they had a 212 number. Now I believe someone told me that number doesn't work anymore. When I was trading, they had a 212 number, which was some Manhattan area code. But I think that has changed. So yeah, have your broker's numbers handy and make sure you can reach out to them quickly. But now these are things that, one of the downsides to CMEG is they don't communicate things very well. I'm sure when I click approve on something that was on there and I just probably didn't read it. But the minute I should have sent that form, they should have came back saying, "Hey, this is how it's going to work." Or it should have been right on the form. The form should say, "Hey, after you submit this form, you're not going to be able to trade for the next 2 days." So one of the downsides to being with CMEC, every time I had to withdraw money, you had to stop trading for 3 days, which sucks because you're withdrawing money obviously because you're doing well. And the last thing you want to do when you're doing well is wait 3 days to be able to trade, right? So hopefully they can change that process. But it was the funniest thing ever, man. And it's funny because it only took like 5 minutes to get that fixed, but it felt like a lifetime. Not being able to get out of that trade because you know how things go. They can come back to break even. They can keep running. They can get halted. All that fun stuff. So you don't want to be involved in that situation. I don't remember. Now I have a max hard stop, right? Dance. I don't remember if I had it at that time. I didn't even think about that. If I had it set up at that time, that would have triggered. But either way, who wants to take a max loss, right? On something like that. So, but yeah, that's the funny story of the day. We spoke about that. Completely forgot about that story. So we started talking about it on the onboarding class yesterday with some new members that were joining us and some intro memberships. So hopefully you can learn from that and be aware of certain situations that can happen. Cool, guys. Any questions before we get started and jump into our regular routine here? Is that the best commercial for a brokerage company ever? Yeah, all right. We were sitting around the coffee table and said, let's process this guy's request. Yeah, and when he gets into a trade, David from Connecticut, that's probably what happened. They probably say, oh, look, he's in the trade. Let's process this right now. Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody sitting somewhere in a different island and not realizing that they should check, okay, does this guy have an order open before doing that? But it was the funniest thing ever. Good morning over on YouTube. Good morning, Nigma. Good morning, Ander. Fernando, good morning, Loud. Good morning to you as well, Ray. Good morning also. Where can we find the employment situation number? What website? You can just Google that. You can just Google that, right? That should be available on any trading news website. Unless you're looking for like a specific SEC or Fed number, probably the government website. You could get the actual number from there. I'm sure they post it somewhere. I don't have the exact link though for that. Yeah, Jared, trading terminal will have it shortly. Okay.
Well,
here's the link.
Out for another 2 minutes. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay, perfect. And here's the link that someone shared. Hey, good morning, Norm. How you doing today, man?
Good morning, brother. I've got a bad echo. I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. Let me make sure it's nothing on my end.
Oh, it's not you. It's
Okay,
somewhere over here. Trust me.
Okay. It's probably because you were in the chat yesterday and probably changed the settings.
I'm good now. Yeah, that number will come out in just a second. That's going to be the biggest news of the week.
Yeah.
I've got Squawk on. We should have it soon. So non-farm payrolls for August, the unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, and labor force participation rate. The number for July came in way more than expected. I don't know if you remember that, the beginning of last month. So almost a month ago, just about a month ago, that came out. It was like 528,000 versus an estimated, 220 or something. So 200. Yeah. So that kind of made the markets go crazy. We're estimating 318. That's a consensus. We'll get the number. We'll get the print in just 1 minute. And there's a number of places you can get this. It's but it will it's been kind of pointless to do any kind of. And if you want the source of it, you can go to the bls.gov. Bureau of Labor Statistics is who produces that report. So, but you can get it almost any business website, investing website, trading website. Let's see what we do here. It's going to be mayhem in 15 seconds probably.
Yeah.
And it'll make our whole day. There's not a hey, good morning, Russell. There's not a whole lot of reason to do a whole lot of research before this number comes out, because it's going to make or break the day.
Agreed.
And here we go. Let's see. Spiking. Currently, must be a bad number. 315. Plus 315 on non-farms. That's slightly less than 318. Well, let's see what the other numbers are. I think the market's just happy it wasn't like last time when it was way more than expected.
Right. Something way off. Agreed.
Unemployment rose 0.2%. So that would mean that the labor force participation rate had to have grown. I don't have that number yet. It hadn't read it out if it's going to. Anyway, yep. So risk on for the moment. We'll see if it holds. It was quite bearish yesterday, but some of the stuff that was down quite hard yesterday also rebounded a little bit, not completely, in video for instance. So, all right.
Yeah, SPY's ripping now. So that's looking good. Let's see if that, like I said, let's see if that's going to hold. And again, we'll take it easy because it's not a whole lot for us to watch right now. We'll have to wait for this to settle down. Our gappers list, as you can see here, very small at the moment, with Holly, Oxy, and some other ones out here in the gap down list. So sure it's going to change any minute now as things starts to get volume. But let's look at what's here right now.
You got to remember, we're also the Friday before long weekend. So Absolutely. It's August and all that. We'll see what happens here.
Absolutely. So Holly here, guys, it's been on our gap up list all morning, up 20%, 1.5 million shares traded. It doesn't look great as far as the daily and the volume that it gets. I mean, we have 1.5 now. Barely, but yes, it is September. 1.5 right now. That's more than it's done in like the last 4-5 months. Back in March. So doesn't get a lot of action here. Today maybe could be a difference maker with the type of volume it's getting. I'm not a big fan of the way this looks right now, so I could be wrong. But again, just at the moment, I don't think it looks great. Let me link my trade ideas. Do that, and then we'll be good to go.
Looks like this is they're trying to take this one private, so it might act a little bit like a buyout. Not 100% sure on that. It looks garbagey to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, man. That's for sure. Oxy could be good today. They have a good daily. They've been trading very well a couple of days within this stretch here, and the stretch of the last 2 weeks. So I do like Oxy. I'll put that on my list. Not a great pre-market volume as far as right now, but as we used to watching this, we know they don't get heavy pre-market activity. PXMD starting to get going here. Very, very, very low flow. 246,000 on the flow on trade ideas. Not sure how accurate that is. Also, it's a recent IPO I'm seeing here.
Attack small float.
Yeah.
No.
Just be careful with that, guys. It could be a good one for a scalp, but just be careful with if you're going to be trading that. Let's look at GCT. GCT this morning, another IPO as well. Yeah, another IPO that's down 12.9. Yeah, this doesn't look good to me.
Flow's too high.
The flow is way too high for us. There's that 266,000. Moving on down to HPCO, another IPO down 2%. Just again, these IPOs just insane. Nice to see there. BBBY. This could be some opportunities here. We do have shares for sure.
You haven't focused in on the gappers list. Are you intending to do that? Or are you trying to share a different screen?
No. I was not intending to do that at all. I meant to be on here. There we go. So sorry about that, guys.
They were mostly trash anyway, except for Oxy.
Yeah, you didn't miss you didn't miss anything, that's for sure. So here it is.
It was actually probably better.
Yeah. BBBY, there could be some action here. We're sitting at a level of support. Again, I don't know how good these technicals are on BBBY, but we are bouncing here where we bounced from before. We had some resistance before. We had some support as well. So could be something. It all depends on, what our friends over at Wall Street Bet want to do here. So BBBY, we put it on there. 1 million shares traded right now, down 2.1, trying to get into the green. Outside of that, we'll wait to see what else pops up on this list. We have Mara coming in here now. Not a whole lot going on there. Jay-Z, no, nothing happening there. Let's take a look at the SPY again. See what we got going on here. All right,
so holding up there right under 400.
Yeah, still holding there. And the day green yesterday. We'll look at some. Today's gonna be one of those funky days, man. Let's look at Apple. See what Apple is doing. We're gonna probably have a list of usual suspects, and Apple will be one of them. Who's trading live today?
Thor, I think.
Thor. Okay, good luck to him, because this list is not looking great. Well, it wasn't great yesterday neither, but we did find some stuff to trade. So Apple, we'll be looking at that. It's just going to move with the overall market. We'll be looking at Nvidia for sure after yesterday's massacre, man. Although it bounced back pretty good from 131. Again, just a huge drop. So Nvidia definitely one I want to keep an eye on today. Already up 1.1, some good volume this morning. This SPY activity should help them as well, if it continues this way. And AMD. That's all I'm going to put on my charts, guys. I'm going to wait a little bit later until things develop and see if anything else comes out that is worth watching. But at the moment, I'm just going to look at our usual suspects: Oxy, Apple, Nvidia, and AMD. Norm, anything you like on this type of day today? I know it's not a lot to pick from.
Yep, I like Tesla. Tesla just started getting volume. I think they had an analyst upgrade. I'm not 100% sure on that because it just popped a couple of minutes ago.
All right.
Pretty sure that's what the catalyst is there. And Lululemon. Yeah.
What we got going on here? Up
They had
10%. Earnings.
and
Okay.
they are killing it now. They do not get great volume pre-market a lot of times, even though it is a NASDAQ ticker. My guess is that'll come in a little bit better. The spread is nasty right now. That's got to improve. And it's $1 on a $322 ticker. So it's not ridiculous.
It's not horrible, but
it's not horrible for a stock at that price. But my guess is it'll get better once the market opens. So
yeah.
Those two are good stuff.
Yeah, they look good, especially Tesla here. And Lululemon, like we mentioned, we're going to get the volume. Even though their pre-market is like a nicey pre-market, although they're on the NASDAQ exchange. They'll get the volume, especially on earnings. We'll see if that can turn out to be good there. All right, let's take it over to the chat, guys. See what you guys like this morning. I know it's a little bit early. It's not a whole lot to watch, and that's okay if we have a small list today. We don't got to go crazy. If you guys have any questions on a day like today, we do have time to answer them, so throw them in chat, and we'll definitely get to them. Let's start with you, Mike.
Start to build as we get closer to.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not concerned, but I think the list, if it builds here, it's just going to really help our usual suspects, right? Because nothing should have here their own catalyst if it's just moving with the market. But we will see. AVGO this morning. No, and we've seen this before in the past. A very high price ticker that gets really poor volume. What is this? Earnings? Is that what's going on here? That's where they're getting this action. AVGO, yes. It's earnings after hours yesterday. This will be a tough ticker to trade, man. I don't see this trading very well.
Broadcom usually does not trade very good.
Yeah, be careful if you're going to be trading this. Spread is $1. I'm sure they'll get better in the pre-market, but just be mindful of that. What else we have? So that's AVGO. We have Nvidia definitely on deck on here. Snap seems to like it. Might be a good one. Let's see. Snap. Yeah, Snap is weird. These pops we're getting on negative, nothing but negative news for these guys. There hasn't been anything positive that I'm aware of, and they're just popping here. They ended up green yesterday somehow. Didn't expect that, and today they're just getting above the green previous day close here. So, hey, it could be interesting. Maybe a possible. They need a whole lot of volume. They trade well when they got great volume, but you can see here they're popping at the moment. So. OKTA was great yesterday. I don't know about today. I think you're not going to see that volume. This stock doesn't do that. I don't know if you're going to get any type of continuation play on this one. It might just be really choppy. And remember, guys, this stock doesn't trade very well. We had fun with it yesterday because the news, the gap down, and everything else, and the volume. I don't know about today. I really don't. So I'm going to keep it off my list for now. If it hits our scanners, then I'll look at it, turbo breakup, turbo breakdown, or if you guys see something, call it out. Mara at the moment, again, we'll see how the spy continues. I think it's just going to move with the overall market, really. We'll put it here as a paso for now, but I don't think it's going to do its own thing. And as you guys know, if it's moving with the overall market, we know Apple, Nvidia, AMD, even trading the SPY directly are probably going to give you better opportunities at times, right? At times, not always, but at times. AMC, I saw that pop up on our gappers list alongside Plug and and CCL and some others. AMC right now, volume is way too light. AMC needs to be way more volume than this. I mean, they're just kind of getting what's the low on AMC recently? They hit as low as 830 yesterday. So yeah, they're just getting hammered here. But yeah, we need more volume on this. It doesn't look explosive at all. Let's look at Plug from our gappers list. I know that one has been very active as well. Yesterday was a good one too. Um, this could be a decent one. Nothing but red days the last couple of days. This could be okay. We'll put Plug on here. Bank of America, not the biggest fan of bank stocks, but it has really nice daily candle right off of 50 moving average, 50-day moving average. Let's see Bank of America. Um, yeah, yep, I see that. Volume is slight, but I agree with you. We'll have to wait for the market open, see how this is going to play out. See if this bounce is going to mean anything for them. Let's head over to Plug. We looked at what else? I saw some other ones on here. Mara, we have Riot. It's okay. We'll look at Mara instead. So yeah, nothing else crazy on this list just yet. Snap. We have PDD. PDD has some really good days. Kind of stalling here a little bit. We'll see. Very light on volume right now. We need more information on this. The day looks good though. You know, you've been slamming at 72, getting higher lows here. Even today, the low is a little bit higher than yesterday. So that is setting up nicely for a possible breakout. Maybe not today, but yeah, definitely want to be on the lookout for a possible break of high there, break of some levels in the past. XLE ETF, right? XLE
Yeah,
is
energy
Spider. Yep.
spider.
So yeah, you could see you could trade this too. This is another one that you could trade if the market's going to trend nicely today. So you could put that on your list. We don't put it on our list, but Ross, but we keep them in mind. The ETFs, the Qs, and all that good stuff. Starbucks new CEO, not doing a whole lot for them right now, as far as new CEO. So that doesn't look like it's big news at the moment. No volume right now, so we'll have to see. Spy like in job reports. For the moment, it looks like it's holding. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't right. These numbers were not horrible, so it's I think any non-horrific news is good news. I
No,
think so.
they were worse than expected, which bad news is good news.
Well, okay, right. So, um, but who knows how the market is going to take that good or bad
It's been
news?
10
Is
minutes. Let it get digested. Let's
yeah.
see what happens in the market today.
Let's see how they're really going to like it when we get closer to 9:15,
I don't
9:30.
think
You
I
know,
don't think it's I don't think the numbers are uh, I don't think the numbers are surprising enough to change Fed policy, which is the big concern. So we'll see.
right. Cause would I trade TCA small cap ETF TCA? Yeah, I not for intraday trading. I swung this once in my TD account, but not for intraday trading. Usually, not that it's bad, you can. But I don't know. I tend to like trading regular stocks for companies. It's just my personal preference. Like I don't even trade the SPY like that. I have swing traded it, but for intraday trades, I don't know. I find it uh, not difficult. I just don't do it. I don't know the reason why. Just don't do it. So, but you can, right? We've seen, especially Brian loves trading all these ETFs. I've seen Andrew to a certain point trade these, and other members have. So you definitely could. Um, Netflix. I've seen a lot of you guys throw out Netflix. What's going on there? Netflix has been on fire lately. Let's take a look. Netflix. Netflix this morning. We are up slightly, yeah, but light volume. I mean, on fire lately. You mean on fire yesterday, right? Or on fire meaning you caught some good trades and you've been doing well. But as far as on fire, I don't see that here on this daily. But they had a great day yesterday. Like many stocks bounced back pretty good yesterday. Um, a Snap is good if we have Snap already. Okay, Can you check drug? No, drug is horrible, man. This
Drug's a
stock
penny
is,
stock. We
yeah,
generally don't trade penny
this
stocks.
is horrible. It's not to really a trade here for the way we trade, right? If you're scalping and you have a strategy, you have an edge, go for it. But this is not something that we will have on deck, man. It's just doesn't look good for what we trade. Um, don't do drugs. Yeah, don't do drugs, and don't do this drug. This drug is probably worse than other drugs. This is a bad drug here. It's just no good. mRNA this morning. No, no, pretty quiet, guys. And it's okay. We don't have again. We'll have to give things time here. I think the list that I have actually I'm pretty happy with. Oxy, Apple, Nvidia, especially Nvidia, AMD with their move yesterday. Tesla was fun yesterday as well, and we have Lululemon, which we got to wait to see what takes place there. So we'll stick with that for now. Our apostles BBBY could be very explosive. Snap somehow popping up here. We'll see what goes on there. And yeah, so pretty good list so far. Holiday weekend coming up, guys. Let's see what's coming up for the following week over at bearwoodtraders.com. We'll take you through what's happening for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll go from there. Let me switch over. Here we go.
All right, guys. Anytime you want to come check out the upcoming schedule, go to bearwoodtraders.com/webinars or hit the webinars button in the nav bar at the top of any of the pages on the site. Every Monday, we've got onboarding and technology. It's 8 p.m. Eastern with Carlos. The exception is holiday weeks, which we obviously have a holiday weekend. Market closed Monday. So that will be held at 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. And it is open to all members, no matter your membership status, whether you're a trial member or anything else. Tuesdays, we devote to strategy. Fundamentals of profit taking will be John next Tuesday. And then the following week, volume price action, VPA, the where is going to be Thor the following week. Glad they added a little bit to that title. Then on Wednesday, the where, just you gotta talk a little bit about it.
There was it was funny. There was a comment on the chat. He's like, "Oh, the people that the fan base for Thor knows." I'm like, "Okay, that's good. I think a lot of
That's
us know."
great, but people that are on the site that
Yeah,
don't know what that is,
we need to let
it's
them know.
pointless.
So they could join the
All
fan
right.
base, right? So yeah, agree.
All right. Trading Trance Part 2, 8 p.m. That is next Wednesday. And then Creta the following week, Finding Your Middle Edge. That'll be at 5 p.m. because she is in Europe. We try not to keep her up too terribly late. Mentorship on Thursday, John at 11, Ed at 4, Thor at 8. StockTradingSimulator.com, our free web-based replay simulator where you can practice your trading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free. StockTradingSimulator.com. If you are looking to try out the site or try out Bear Bull Traders, you can use the promo code PreMarket24 to get a discount off the intro membership. That's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room, unless there's a market holiday like the coming Monday, which you'll get shorted a day, but it's not that big of a deal. And it does not recur. It is a one-time payment. And if you'd like to become an elite member, you can use the promo code READ50 to still get half off the elite annual membership and a free one-on-one coaching session with Dr. Kenneth Reed.
All right, thank you very much, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's check, see if anything else has popped up here. Let's take a look quick at the SPY, see if anything is there is doing anything. Let's see. All right, we're getting some good volume. Let's see if we hold. I would love to hold here. Would love to get a rally. That'll be nice. I think a lot of stuff has been down. That we'll get some better moves up, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right, guys, a little bit early. So if you guys have any questions, throw them out there. We can definitely get to them. Is there a direct link to?
No, there is not.
No, there's not. No.
You can have both open at the same time, so you don't really need to switch.
Right. All right, guys, let's get to
guys. You guys have a great weekend. No, I was just gonna say have a great weekend. I'm not trading today. I've got to go to a knee doctor here in a little bit. It's my anniversary, so
happy anniversary!
Take my beautiful
man.
bride going to a bed and breakfast and
beautiful
chill.
Thing,
go to a nice dinner and stuff. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Norm, enjoy yourself, man, and congrats, happy anniversary, my brother. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
You got it. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right. All right, guys. So let's get to it here. We'll go slow, see if anything else develops, and then we can take advantage of it. Why is BBT YouTube profile pic of Andrew? He's the founder and creator of BBT. I mean, right? And we could put the you could put the logo, but I think face is more personal, and I think that's why a lot of people put their the face of someone instead of the company logo, right? Oxy, Oxy here this morning. Oxy, what do we have going on? 2.6. Yeah, it's good. I like the daily. Oxy, we'll keep that one. Apple following the overall market. Nvidia, same thing. And AMD, the same thing. So these three, just overall market action. But Nvidia will be the one to look at today, man, because they have been, as you can see here, hurt pretty bad with the news that came out 2 days ago, right? I think it was on this day here after hours. So you had this drop, and then yesterday we saw how that reacted. So we'll see how that's going to play out today. Right now, just the overall market is kind of taking over what Nvidia is doing, but we'll see if there's anything left for it to do on its own there. Tesla is good, market situation now, and then Lululemon. So I like this list. We'll check it again before we hop off here. Let's go do some levels. Actually, I have the pre-market right now 70.65, and if you surround yourself around this price action, you got plenty of stuff, highs and lows for the last two trading days, so you're pretty good there. And then here you have 71.21, which is a decent level as well. So I don't think you need to add anything. I think this is pretty good right now. I like the daily. I like the bounce we're getting here. And their pre-market activity today actually doesn't look bad. Looks pretty good. Not a happy birthday. Happy. It was anniversary. So somebody's happy birthday. Which yeah. Apple here, guys. Similar stuff as we've seen the SPY doing right now. So I will add the high of the pre-market here, 159.75. So we'll throw your level there, and then you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days in this stretch here against some pretty down days here, as you can see. Trying to get into a balance situation. We'll see where that goes. But that is Apple right now, looking pretty good. Nvidia popping up a little bit here, high of the pre-market. Again, very similar situation compared to the SPY at the moment pre-market, but they're daily slightly different with everything going on for them. So high of the pre-market 141.49, and I'm just gonna mark down the low of the pre-market. I think you're pretty much set. So there you go. That's Nvidia for you. Here's AMD. AMD. Yeah, Joe. I said Joel or Joe, because it's the English language is so funny, man. Obviously, you guys know I'm Hispanic, and this is not my first language. And when you read Spanish, the way it's written is the way it's said. There's none of this. Everyone say like you're Hispanic, like no way. There's none of this pronunciation, which is very difficult for us Hispanics to understand. Because, for example, how can read be written the same way? I don't understand that. So that's difficult for us to understand. Is it read or is it read? It can be both, right? So in Spanish, you never have that. The way it's written is the way it's read. So it's so weird to us to understand that. And then there's names. The names, the way they're written, is the way they are. Carlos is Carlos. Joel is Joel. Joe is not Joe. So it's just so difficult. This is why if you come from a different country to try to learn English, man, it's tough. It's tough. So it's Joel. Okay, good. So one of my nephew, his name is Joel, but in school everybody calls him Joel. So he's Joe, so he's used to it now. But it's just it's strange. It's strange. I'm glad I don't have to learn German. I didn't want to go there. I can only imagine. But yeah, it's just interesting stuff. And there's more other things like that too that you have to use it. It doesn't matter how it's written. You better find out how it's pronounced. So I'm constantly looking at YouTube. Okay, how do you pronounce this? And going from there. English teachers, you guys understand. AMD here, guys. We got some tons of levels. I'm going to remove some of this stuff to kind of create space for some recent levels. And here we are. We have highs and lows of the last two trading days, previous day close, all that good stuff. I don't think you need to add anything. I would like something below 82. Yeah, we do have something right below 82, which is a perfect level here. This is great. 80.38, guys. Real nice stuff there. And here and here. So that's looking pretty good there. Here is Tesla. Tesla, we have up here high of the pre-market. It was 282. 282.57. So that's good. And then you have your highs and lows around the price section. So you're good on Tesla as well. And then Lululemon hasn't moved much. It's kind of hanging here. This is going to be a good one at the market open because you're either going to have an overreaction to what happened yesterday. Look at this pop yesterday, all right? You're either going to have an overreaction and a sell-off here, or if the news is really strong and it's going to stick, you have a nice level to get to here on the daily over to 334.97, right? So that could be a good one there. Then towards the bottom here, low of the pre-market, we'll mark this down. It's 321.12. So I will mark that there as well. Excellent. We are all set, my friends. This is looking pretty good. Highs and lows around there, all the way down here, 295, 310. If we were to run outside of this highs and lows right now, which seems to be, we held this last night too, right? After hours, we held this range as well. Not much volume here, so it doesn't really count, but here we held this. So that is our low of our pre-market, our high of our pre-market. If we're able to break out of this range on the daily, some pretty good levels outside from the ones we marked already. 334, obviously very high resistance area, but 328, you have a lot of touches in that area there. So you definitely want to slam a level there. And you also want to slam a level down at 315.85. Slam a level there as well. You can see highs and lows for the last two trading days. So that's looking pretty good there. Okay, excellent, guys. Early, I know, running very early, 8:55. So if you guys have some questions, throw them out there. We'll see if anything else comes out of this list. Right now, I see DVN popping up here, Blue Apron, which I don't really like. You guys know that. Charge Point, CHPT. We haven't seen that in a while. This used to be a great trader, man. When the whole EV stuff was happening, this one, Neo. They were all on fire. They really have come down a bit. I don't see no volume happening on this thing. But if you guys remember, we had a lot of fun right here. I mean, just tons of fun with ChargePoint. This all started 2020, right? 2021, but end of 2020 is when EVs went nuts, and it was a whole lot of fun. So I don't see anything happening with ChargePoint right now, but we'll keep that off the list. Doesn't see great at the moment. VRAX, why this sounds familiar? Oh, we traded this a while back. I believe. But not doing a whole lot right now. Yeah, we have some levels here. So we traded that before. Doesn't look too good right now. Low flow, 4.3 million shares traded. Carlos, what do I think about this overall market sentiment today? It's so hard, man. It's so hard to kind of say, what the sentiment is, because it's you just don't know. Anything is possible. I mean, we have some drops here. We're back to, down and up 2%, like it's nothing in this market, right? So if you see the last couple of days, especially after this drop, look how wide these dailies are, right? So you haven't had that in a while. You had a little bit of days here moving nicely, but now you're getting these wide ranges and you're back down on this downtrend, at least for the last couple of weeks. So I don't know. And also you got light volume, so I don't know if it's the sentiment overall, or is it the light volume with, summer trading coming to somewhat of an end. You got a holiday weekend coming up. It's a Friday. There's so many things to create such a choppy day for us today. Our patience got to be at all-time high today, because it is going to be, I think, a weird day. I think the SPY might create some movement for us here as it's pushing higher, right on these numbers that were just released. If that continues, eyes on the SPYs, guys. I mean, if you look at the last two trading days, all we've been doing is trading the SPY in different tickers, right? That's all we've been doing, right? If you look at the SPY here, this is yesterday, right? Regardless of this section here, we started rallying here, right? 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, we started going. Every stock did the same thing. Before that, the stocks that had a catalyst, NVIDIA, AMD, had beautiful drops, right? They had their own catalyst. But then the market took over. Then they started popping up around that same time, 1 o'clock. So eyes on the SPYs. If the SPY in the market is going to rip, expect your tickers, your usual suspects, to rip as well. So that's what we be looking for. And in times like this, I try not to go against what the SPY is doing unless something has a very strong catalyst, like NVIDIA did yesterday. Although I didn't take advantage of NVIDIA, unfortunately. Did not see this drop coming all the way down here after dropping so much already in the after hour session the day before, right? So that caught me off guard there. AMD, Tesla, same thing. Look at this rally when the markets gets going. So we'll see. So it's tough. It's tough to kind of answer that, because I think it's very mixed. People are, I don't say confused, but everybody's waiting to see what's next, right? There's a lot of people that are saying we're bouncing from here. I'm in the camp that I think we're going to go even lower eventually. Maybe not today, but I'm in the camp that I think we're gonna drop some more. 374, 362. I see that happening in the near future. So we'll see. Um, is it is the it's hard in the current market condition to see the big boys wanting to hold long over a 3-day weekend. Still who knows? Yeah, I agree, Jay, 100%. And you know, but we dropped so much, right? We've dropped so much in the last 3 weeks. It's been bad, right? But the last week we've dropped so much that some people might see some buying opportunity here or some covering. Who knows? And since you have low volume, I don't think you're really getting a entire perspective of what the big boys are doing, a whole picture, right? So it's very tough, very tough, very tough. Bigs has to drop back below 25, says David from Connecticut. What else we have here? Do you mess with IPOs? I do not, Stephanie. And IPOs have been wild lately. They're just insane. What was some of the IPOs we had? I can't think of any right now, but they've been so crazy with the way they move now when they IPO. But I do not. I know Peter has a webinar where he talks about how to trade IPOs and some of the things he looks for. Again, that was a while back. I'm not sure if that applies to now because IPOs are very different than they were 2 3 years ago, in my opinion. Only IPOs that were like big companies, like for example, if you have a Dropbox, I remember that when that one opened up. If you had a Lyft, Uber, IPOs from companies that are very well known nationally or globally were the ones that really got a lot of activity. Robinhood's a good one, right? People know Robinhood, but now you have, X, Y, and B from, I don't know, San Antonio that nobody knows of, IPOs, and the volume is like Uber opened up. It doesn't make any sense, right? So it's very weird to trade IPOs now. Right, right. I mean, it's just the way, right, Garrett? It's just the way it's been. Like, I never heard this company. You're getting volume like it's the next Amazon or something. So it is insane the way things have changed. Is there a way to tell the difference between selling off and a short positions coming in? Mike, I do not know how you can tell that. No, they come in as a sell, as a ask, as a bid. You really can't tell if it was somebody covering. You like there's no way to say 100% that is what this is, right? So there's no way to do that. You can kind of, for example, on BBBY, right? If you're getting a squeeze and you're ramping up and you have a high short interest like 102, like you have here, okay, you can speculate that, yes, but you still won't know 100% for sure. But you can speculate here, right? This move, something like this. Your best guess is people are getting squeezed out. So these are people covering their short position. You're getting squeezed. There's no question, right? Because we know for a fact in the last 14 days there was a high short interest here of 102. So that is reported. You know that. So you know that's happening. But to say exactly 100%, like for example here, is this a squeeze? No, you can't tell because it's too small. You can't tell if it's just people buying or whatever the case may be. So you cannot tell that. All right. It's both parties. The question is the balance of power changing enough. Yeah, I agree, Jared. I agree. Looks like a boring day for me. How they coming? Yeah, Master Chief. It is a quiet day right now. The spies trying to spark things up for us a little bit here, so hopefully they're able to do that, and we'll find something. But it just might not be right at the market open. And today I'm already aggressive when it comes to taking partials. I'm going to be even more aggressive because I think it's going to come back to my break even pretty fast. And so we'll see. We'll see if the market can get going here. It'll be nice. It'll create some opportunities, but it is not a great list that we've seen in the past. Where can you see the short interest? You can see it in a couple of places. If you have Trade Ideas will have it for you right over here. You can also go to finvis.com. They also have it on there. When you click on the stock and you got to go, I think it's like the fifth column. There's a lot of information you're going to get there. ATR, relative volume, tons of information. It's a great website for that. And they have a column where they have the short flow interest. You could look it on there. So you can see what the short flow interest is. And anything above, 20, 40, 50, 100, that is pretty significant, right? So those are the tickers that if they get any kind of news, like Blue Apron here, APRN is at 50 on Trade Ideas. If we look at this, this is one that this got squeezed too a couple of days ago, right? Like this here, these are people being squeezed out of their position for sure, especially here too, going above 7. There's a short happen a squeeze happening there, and people are covering their shorts, right? That's you get that explosive pop, things like that. And this is what Wall Street Bet is all about, right? That's how they started with AMC. Tons of people short. I mean, you don't get a pop like you did on AMC a few times, but here you don't get this type of movement without squeezing the heck out of people, right? And that's what happened. And not just retail traders, firms as well, right? Big firms getting a squeeze here all the way up. So um, that's what happens. All right, see here. CVS seems CVX is a ETF. No, this is Chevron. Okay, yep. I don't trade this one because of the volume, but yeah, it can be a mover as far as if the overall sector is moving. But again, it's just the volume on this thing is really really light. So yeah, check it out. They're a pretty good site. Um, okay, what else do we have here? 905. I still don't see anything that's major coming up on our list here. INQ coming up in the gappers list looks horrible. BHP, no, doesn't look good. Nice drop yesterday. I remember seeing this yesterday. How did it trade? Did it do anything? Okay, so it had the big drop pre-market and then just didn't do a whole lot. Again, it doesn't trade very well. Even with this drop here, only 7 million shares traded, so it doesn't do a whole lot. Because at what volume does a stock become good to trade or to avoid? At what volume? It depends. It depends what you mean. So you're talking about pre-market, you're talking about after the market opens, because it's got to be relative, right? So for example, like Tesla today, Tesla has amazing volume. This volume right here, 1.4, is really, really good pre-market. Nvidia has incredible volume today, 1.1, right? So this is really good volume. I mean, way more than what they usually get pre-market. But if you look at CCL will have 600,000 shares traded. They have 1,000 today, and they could be horrible because they trade even a lot more volume. So they got these tickers that trade really, really heavy volume. So it's got to be relative to what stock you're looking at. There's no set number, if that's what you're saying, but the more volume, obviously, the better. So it depends on how you're looking at it. Now, if you look at the market open, usually I want to say when you start getting to that, above 500,000 on a 5 minute, it starts looking pretty good, right? But it all depends on the stock. 400,000 for like AMD might be nothing, you know. So it all depends. Um, all right, we got a couple of moderators with their list here. We have Jared, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, Lululemon, AVGO. Thor looking at Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, and then he's also watching the bot as well. SPY getting close to 400. Is it ripping here? Let me put the SPY down here. SPY. Here we go. SPY. And we got some time, guys. If you guys have any questions before we hop off and start our live trading, we do have time. There you go. See, this will be good. If we can get above this 400, 399, 98, I think that's gonna can set a nice tone into the market open this morning. So Apple already going. Nvidia, I want to see how much of the SPY Nvidia is going to follow, especially after all the negative news around it. AMD, Tesla. Oh, look at Lululemon getting this nice pop there, 327. Guys, careful with this one. This thing can move. You do not need to take a lot of shares if you are going to trade this one. We'll get the volume at the market open, but you can see here we're looking at 323, 324 was the high of the pre-market. Look at the breakout to 327. That's a $3 move just like that. So again, careful with the number of shares you take. This thing can really move. You want to make your money on the run here, not on the size you take. So very, very careful. Yeah, it will bite back, and the pullbacks also are very aggressive on Lululemon. I agree. So you gotta be very strategic with your stop losses, and make sure you're sticking to it. Got to be very very disciplined on any stock, but on this one especially, because it will hurt you. How would trade the SPY? How would you trade the SPY? So the SPY, I mean, you see Thor do it all the time. I mean, Thor's a great example. He trades a SPY all the time. He actually has it on his watch list today. He doesn't, but I'm sure he'll be watching it. He trades this thing all the time with his levels, right? Resistance and support. So there's so many ways. So you can see we can go into a whole webinar on how to trade this. Today's looks like it's looking to break out here. But yeah, we have webinars on this. We also have Thor's recap you can look at on our YouTube channel that'll go more in depth. I don't want to give you a half answer that's not gonna answer your question. But if you look at some of the recaps that Thor has, even Andrew has traded this as well. You can take a look at that on our YouTube chat. All right, what else? What else we got? All right, Susan coming in with her list: Tesla, Apple, AMD. Secondary list: Amazon, Snap, and Mara. There you go. SPY wants to get above 400. Looks like it wants to do it. With an account around 2,000, would you recommend day trading stocks below $10 or go for higher? That is a recipe for disaster, man. And again, just not trying to kill your plans here, but my recommendation is 5,000. You got to start 5,000. 2,000 is too little. And if you're trading with an offshore account, I assume, or if you're trading with the PDT rule, it's very difficult because then you have to wait 3 days per trade. But if you're trading with an offshore account, if you do 5,000, you get a decent sized buying power, and then you're not stuck trying to find stocks that are under $10 because you want to take 500 shares or whatever the case may be. You don't want to have that limitation when it comes to trading. Trading is difficult enough, and if you have limitations where you need to trade under a certain amount, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. 5,000 is the number, and I think in 2,000, can you do it? Yes, but again, you have more limitations, and when you start trading, the more limitations you have, the more impatient you're going to get, and it's tough to build that patience when you're starting to learn how to trade. So you want to have at least 5K, and you don't want to be stuck trading stuff under $10 because those will be very limited stocks, and they're going to be usually the high flying stocks that are low float or some that don't move very well that our strategies don't work well with. So you're better off, waiting a little bit and saving up for 5K. Start with 5K, and then don't limit yourself to trading $10, right? You could trade whatever price you want, because with 5K with an offshore broker, you're going to get 60,000 of buying power. It's a lot of buying power. It's a lot of buying power. You shouldn't be using all of that. You should be using way less, so that's going to free you up to be able to do a lot more things. Yeah, and Miguel, and 5K is still it's tough. But see, when you start with 5K, the mentality is that you're there to learn how to trade in a live environment. You're not there to make money, because 5K is you're undercapitalized at that point. You're there to trade live, get a feel for what it is to trade live. But if you're able to, with $5,000, $60,000 of buying power, right? You can trade small. You can trade risking $20, $15 to make 30. But people don't want to do that. People don't want to do that. I did not want to do that. And it doesn't matter about your account. You could have $40,000. You should still risk $15 to make 30. People don't want to do that. People want to risk 100 to make 200, 300, 400 to make it worth their while at first. And that's when things, that's when you get into trouble. So it happened to me. I wanted to risk big dollars. I'm coming from a job where I was making, over 6 figures. Who wants to day trade and make, $50 or $40? You don't want to do that. But if you want to do this right, that is what you have to do. And you got to be so disciplined. If you can do that, you can make this work over the long run. You can make this work. But you got to think about the process first. Got to think about the process first. I agree. I agree. Yeah, there you go. So Terry says he uses fraction of his capital. This is why he hasn't blown up his account. Yeah, it's exactly it. It's exactly it. And Master Chief, yeah, it's more important to have a good mindset when you have a small account. Yeah, you have to, because you don't have the luxury to do certain things. Your risk management has to be on key, Midas, absolutely, and you have to be really, really careful. Um, is it six? No, it's a 60 or it's a 30K. I forget what it is. Does PT rule restrictions only on margin accounts? Yeah, we actually answered that question before. I'm not sure if we were around, but PDT rule only applies to margin accounts. But if you have a cash account, it's you have some limitations. Again, you can short. That's the biggest limitation you have. You can short stocks, and if you're day trading, So you see what happened in this market that we're in. You want to be able to short some stocks here because there's going to be some opportunities there. Again, the more you limit yourself, the harder it's going to be. Yeah, correct. Yes, sorry. It's 30,000, right? It's 30,000, 6 to 1. So it's 30,000 buying power, correct. Um, if you have a $5,000 account, thank you. But yeah. So you want to be able to short it. If you're not, you're going to be very limited. All right, guys, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, it is Friday. It's a holiday weekend. This list does not look great. We'll be honest with you right now. This looks mediocre at best. I think that the SPY is trying to create some opportunities for us now as it's breaking out of 400. I hope we can rally here and the bulls can take over for today. I think we'll have a better move that way. Volume today, I expect is going to die down extremely quick. I mean, it is, guys, everybody's ready to start their weekend. Go shopping for what they need for the barbecue this Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever they're having it. I'm having a few throughout the weekend. I have family over from Miami. So I'm ready to get started the weekend as soon as possible. I'm sure I'm not the only one. So volume is going to die down quick. So just be patient. Be very, very patient. I can't stress that enough. You want to go into your holiday weekend knowing that you were disciplined, that you did not, get stuck trying to find some wins when there's just not there for you. The market, your job is to be available for the market. Sit there, be available. If your opportunity comes up, then you slam on the gas and you take advantage of it. But if it doesn't, don't slam on the gas on nothing that's happening. That's the worst thing you could do. So guys, be mindful of that. Have an amazing holiday weekend. Remember, we're off on Monday for our non-US friends that might hop into the room asking what's going on. We're off Monday and we'll be back on Tuesday as well. One more thing, onboarding session is going to be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, not on Monday. So you might see the ads on the website showing Monday, but it is going to be on Tuesday. So join me for that. You can use PreMarket 24 to get a discount over on YouTube, and we'd love to see you there. Whoa, hold on. 134 likes. No. We got it. We got to get something better than this, guys. I know it's Friday. I know volume is light. Can we get to like 170? Can you guys help us there? I'm even going to click on this. Oh, I already did. All right. So let me just put it back. All right, 153. We're getting there. Let's see if we can get 176. Very nice. All right, we're moving. See if we could do 200. 194. Ah, you guys are the best. You guys are making my morning. In fact, you know what? Yeah, 201. That is perfect. I'm not even gonna trade after this. I think I'm feeling good. Why mess up my day? 220. You guys are the best. Thank you. All right. That's a whole lot of likes. People were just enjoying the conversation. Forgot to hit the like button. It happens. 228, 230. Guys are incredible. Thank you very much. Oh, and as we're waiting for likes, we're waiting for Brian. And Brian, are you trading today? Brian is on. Good morning, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, now I hear you. Brian's list, I'll read out to YouTube and then we'll hand it off to him. Apple, Tesla, PXMD, Holly, and TQQQ. Guys over on YouTube, have an amazing weekend. Thank you for the 250 likes, and we will see you guys on Tuesday. Trade safe today, guys. Very careful. Be patient. Have a great trading day.